3:59 if you want to start, or we'll wait 1 minute.
I'll call the board work session to order, please.
All right. First part of the packet, a few pages. My reasoning for wanting to do this work session with you is next week, Dr. Rochelle Myers will be returning, and she'll be presenting the data that she collected from your listening sessions. So all those community outreach events and staff and students, she's put together that data. She's going to come in with a report. I have not seen it yet, but that's her date and time to come and share with all of you. We've done a pretty good job in the time I've been here of having board member to board member operating agreements. What do we do, how do we do it, what's our focus? And even notice on your placemats here, we need to get them up, but you have a newer set in your packet tonight, the 23-24 school board operating agreements. And I think it's timely before you sit down and take on the big task. It's going to be a lot of work, strategic planning, that you look at those again. You've got 2 new elected board members up there. Are you guys all still on the same page? Do the old operating agreements still stand? Do they need any updates? So the first page you got here tonight just talks about why you have your board operating agreements in the first place. And this is stuff that OSBA promotes, school boards use. They want to make sure that you're as efficient as possible. So building effective governance, building trust and teamwork, ensuring transparency and accountability, maintaining consistency during transitions, and enhancing community confidence. So looking at your old operating agreements, 23-24, last 2 pages of tonight's packet is your OSBA samples of operating agreements. What would you like to change, modify? You want to keep your current set? Have you looked at them recently and have been wondering about, do you like these? Do updates? So
When was the last time it was updated from this one?
23-24. I don't think we've had an update since, and that 23-24 was updated off of 18-19. So there was a big span since the most recent one you have. But this configuration for the school board is different than the ones when I was first hired. So we have a 7-person board with all different people. We're allowed to change, and you guys have different expectations of each other and how you work together. That can be fair, and tonight's a work session to talk about that.
maximum time on our meetings?
Maximum time limit on your meetings? No. As you begin to kind of wrap up your review, are there any additional thoughts, questions, changes you want to discuss?
Looks good to me. 324. Should probably add something in there to restrain Bonnie's behavior. She gets out of control.
You know, I was just gonna make a comment here
Yeah, right.
about that, yeah.
Okay?
What's it?
Something to restrain her and her out of control behavior.
Did you ask the chair if she could speak?
No, I didn't. I guess we need to add that in there too.
It is, isn't it? That's one on top of that too. I kind of agree with, Bob that what we have here for 23-24 seems pretty cut and dry.
I don't know,
I'm sorry.
I think it's pretty well worded.
If we don't have an end time, what is our end time that we should start and end on time?
When we've held work sessions, we've set, like tonight is 4 to 5, we've set Saturday sessions 9 to noon. We are pretty good about sticking to an end time when we establish it.
Okay.
We don't have an established end time on a board meeting, so time doesn't run out, I guess. Is that something we should be doing? Is that an important element to add into work?
We tried having ending times, an end time, way back when we had another superintendent back years and years ago. And it was so frustrating within a few months because we had so much we left on the table or right here on the calendar that we didn't get to, and we had to, and he held us to the end time. And so it held over for a whole month, and then we were still behind. And it came to the point, I think Thornton was the chairman at that time, board. And he would, we all were frustrated, he was frustrated as much because, you know, we didn't get to get things resolved that should be resolved. And then they had to carry over for the next month, and that put us behind because, you know, something that new came up might get put on the back burner again. So we weren't getting caught up with, you know, with that superintendent putting this, you know, we have to be, you know, we started at 6, I think. It had to be done by no later than 7:15.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's a short time.
Mr. Jones, didn't we go through some more training with Vince too, and he wanted us to establish those timelines too? And we said,
It's just no
we
way.
just couldn't see how it was possible.
It would be nice, when, you know, it gets dark at 4:30 and, you know, for, you know, like Jack D that lived
Mhm.
28 miles up the river, and, but still, you know,
Yeah.
it just, we found ourselves getting further and further behind, and that didn't, you know, that wasn't conducive for positive board meetings.
I assumed maybe it was like a 3-hour time frame, not an hour, so that could be, yeah.
Like the council meetings, they can't go over 10 o'clock. They have to stop at 10 o'clock and they either recess.
Well, when we got rid of that
Hours, so-
superintendent, we had, you know, one that lasted a whole 2 months, the
Mhm.
next superintendent. And, we had a board meeting that we didn't get out of here till 15 minutes after 11. That new superintendent coming in wanted us to catch up on all of that and, get it resolved. And half the stuff, we couldn't even remember it until we saw it written down. You know, and it was 11:15 when we got out of here. Yeah. You know, it was a good thing my dog didn't know where the high key was for the pickup, because he didn't drove home and left me here. But yeah, so the end times just don't work out. So, and for the most part, I think, you know, I wouldn't be objected to if somebody says, hey, you know, we've been here long enough, you know, I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting, and, you know, I mean,
Table an item.
that wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, keep
Well,
it-
since we bumped our start time back,
yeah,
that's helped a lot too.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
Are there any other elements of the 23-24 operating agreements? It does like you, right now it sounds like Bonnie and Bob and Ken that they look pretty good for advancing forward. Is that how Cindy and Carrie feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
This was the only topic, and gave you an hour for it, so that was pretty fast. Couple of thoughts then. A, you could simply adjourn until 5:30. B, Kim had asked in work session time to discuss having regular work sessions for the purpose of going over agenda items before the meeting. Is that correct to say? That is scheduled right now as a December work session. You could take that up.
And I can just,
Yeah, and then you won't have to wait till December to have the conversation. So you can adjourn, we talk about other work session topics. We can't get into action items, but you could to discuss Kim's topic. How do you feel right now? What's your next step?
Well, for me personally, when I meet with you on the pre-board, or if I have, you know, a situation, that just come live?
No, just people are joining because this is sort of a public
Okay.
meeting. So,
When, in a public setting, you know, because we allow people in on the board work session, I have things to say, and even though, I'm really a nice guy, there are times in my life when I can be a butthead. And sometimes when I'm talking with John or talking with, Jerry or, you know, and my butthead personality comes out, and I think it helps me get my point where in a public setting, you know, I can't speak that way. Or, you know, and so I like to be able to, and there's things that, you know, I can discuss with, you know, building supervisor or principal or John or Charmin in these kind of meetings that, you know, I'm not comfortable or would probably get in trouble talking about in a board meeting because the public's involved and can be allowed in and stuff. And I just, sometimes, you know, when there's an audience, even though you want to speak from the heart or you speak from the gut, you don't so it gives me the opportunity to, you know, if I'm not happy, I mean, people I'm talking with, even one-on-one, are gonna know right away I'm not happy.
But my concern is just that, you know, like I said before, that Bob could have a totally different idea that I haven't even thought about. And, you know, I could be like, oh geez, I never thought about it at that perspective. And it would be nice sometimes to hear different perspectives on certain items. And I guess if we're okay with talking about that in the regular session, that's fine. I just matters to me what everybody else thinks, and, you know, instead of going, and I completely understand, you know, how you go back there and talk, I get that. But that's my only perspective, is you get somebody else's view besides just your view. Because, I mean, you probably see it differently than I do, and Cindy probably sees it differently as a parent, and Bonnie as an ex, you know, and, well, you're ex, but you know what I mean.
I know what I am.
Yeah, and it's nice to have somebody else's perspective, so if we're okay with discussing stuff like that.
Well, would your suggestion mean not having our one-on-one meetings that he's done?
No, I think John's probably open, if you call him and say, hey, I wanna have, like this week, I couldn't make the meeting with John, just because I was out sick most of last week. I'm leaving for hunting. I had Monday and Wednesday to catch up on my, you know, my work before I leave for a week, and I couldn't take the time to meet with John, so I didn't get to meet with him this week. And sometimes that happens, and I can't always make those, but I mean, sure, if you wanted to continue with your one-on-ones, that's, I don't think, an issue. I mean, he's already doing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, if you weren't talking about eliminating.
I mean, because, like, you know, you can't talk about personnel in this work session, so that would be something that you have to meet with John.
Right.
That was my only reasoning for session, but like I said, if we're okay with discussing agenda items, we can bounce each other issue with it.
I like the idea of work sessions as well, just as far as getting everybody else's thoughts and opinions on something, because it could easily help you understand a topic a little bit differently than what my mindset would be. I think a lot of the times as a parent, so kind of getting a different outside look on it too, helpful sometimes versus just.
So, John, would there be like a separate agenda type thing for that, for a board?
If I
work
understood
session?
Kim's proposal, would be to review the agenda. In the work session, we would ask questions about general nature of the topic, so that when you get to the 5:30 meeting, you can move through efficiently. And I hope I'm not over-speaking on any part of that, so correct me.
That's correct.
So it might be a way of, when Vince Adams came, 3 of you remember, there was like 5 minutes for this topic, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes for, it was very prescribed schedule to follow. And if you at a work session prior, you might go to have that type of an agenda with that type of a timeline. About what that really looks like, and that might be advantage.
I'm indifferent, whatever, it's just time. I think it's up to you, Bonnie. You decide.
I don't know how I got his list tonight, but I am.
I can't tell
Tell her.
him, we're here away.
Don't make me laugh, Bob, I didn't bring my oxygen.
Oh,
My oxygen tank died.
You're supposed to have a backup.
What?
You're supposed to have a backup.
And Linda Hall.
Do you work part-time for,
Uh,
what's the name of that oxygen company, Lincare? They sound like an insurance company or Lincare.
Just a concerned citizen, Jones.
For $88.99, we can hook you up with this backup plan here. No, thanks. I just said, no, thanks, Bonnie knows nothing else.
you are gonna get it tonight. You are in the wrong seat.
I think if I was attending to what I'm hearing well, I mean, there's a general, I guess, okay with trying out the work session concept. How much time before actual 5:30 start do you anticipate needing? I know, I know that Cindy and Kim have scheduled to try to work up until 5. You want to say 5:30 work session, does 30 minutes give enough agenda review? Do you want a 4:30 session? It might go quick and you have a time to burn there.
I don't know that we need an hour. Honestly, our agendas aren't that big. I would say maybe just a half an hour. Being here at 5 is not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, would we do like a break? Are you wanting a break at all, or just go right into from work session to regular session?
Yeah,
Makes no difference. Okay.
I personally change my eating schedule so that I don't have to worry about trying to eat at 6 because the board guys feel about, break, don't need a break. We can go on with the session, Jones will call for a nature break.
I'm okay with
Start at 5.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Mine's fine.
So shall we try that in December? Do you want to try that January, start of the year?
Good idea.
December's fine, let's do it.
Am I seeing head nods and yeses? Okay.
Is that something we have to vote on?
No, I don't think so. This is gonna be a matter of how you conduct business, so your board chair is gonna set an agenda with me and call for 5 o'clock work session. He's gonna have one item on there for agenda review, and it's also posted to our public. I notice, so they have a chance to come and observe if they want. I think we're right there.
Now, since this is gonna be an agenda review, there's probably gonna be questions coming up involving food service, financial, maintenance. Are you gonna be able to find those answers for us in that short period?
Depending on the nature of the question, if there's a specific departmental question that I can research on, I may have an answer before a 5:30 meeting, but if not, we would certainly carry it over. I don't anticipate there being too many of those too often. Fair question, I can see it going both ways. My people are pretty good about being responsive when I reach out to them, so might be able to have questions answered on short notice.
Well, they are aware that we're going to be having a meeting, they might be more available.
Some of them have to start really early in their respective departments. They're usually done by 3, so they'd still be sticking around. So I probably would dismiss them. They give reports on the quarter, and when something pops up, I say they're pretty good about responding. So
Well, that's what I mean, if they needed a quick text or something, say, can you just clarify this real quick or something, maybe
yeah.
they'd be available.
Or if I need to step out and call them, they can always pick up the phone.
So board members is, start, and keep in the back of your mind that start December, we'll have a,
And I'll have Sharman will update the appointments, the invites. So we'll set it up for the first half, starting 5 o'clock, first half hour's work session, the topic of agenda review. I guess if you need additional work sessions on anything else like we did tonight, we've used our Saturday models for lengthy ones, and we can always do additional work session topics as required. Those pop up, we just will try to protect that 5 o'clock half hour, this agenda purpose.
yeah, with only 7.5 hours of daylight in a day anymore, I don't want to give up any time that I have. We like to work at the bench on Saturday, so Saturday work sessions are a no thing, no.
Still have a past conversation there. You want to go into recess until 5:30, Chairman, or other material?
Do you have anything else?
The only other question that I think we had brought up last time was having packets ready. Is that possible to have them ready before coming in Wednesday here, or?
Do you want them paper made as opposed to electronic delivery?
Like if this packet was ready, say on Tuesday, if I could pick it up and review it before.
The day prior, and not everybody has asked for that in the past, and people have specifically said, I don't want the packet, so if you need to have it ready on a certain date time, we'll usually pick up, because they want the paper, need to know. And we
Or if not everybody else is like that, I mean, I can request a Charmin, then is that something that would be
well, yeah,
available?
if you specifically wanted to have it set up that way, we picked it up yesterday. You just need to know we can have that ready.
Okay.
So
So
that, oh, sorry.
what I have been doing, especially this week, is sending the board the packet materials. As soon as I have them, I'm keeping track of when I email them to you. And every email at the bottom says, if you want this in a hard copy, let me know. I'll tell you when you can come pick it up. So I am not going to run the packets a week ahead of time, but I will send you packet material as I get them. If you want hard copies before the board meeting, let me know. I'll schedule that for you guys to pick up.
Thanks, Robin.
That looked like on the agenda this time. I don't remember seeing an agenda. I couldn't.
I don't actually know that, but there was a lot of confusion on the emails.
Well, we usually don't get the agenda until we meet with John, right?
Well, I'll give you a paper one at that point.
Yeah.
We always seem to have an agenda just because something is always getting added. So the ability to know well in advance a week ahead of exactly what we have isn't going to exist. And it isn't a matter of we anticipate something just comes in late, even if we ask for it. And we give community comment till 3 o'clock the day of, and sometimes that'll raise an issue for us. So we'll always print material for you. If there's specific things you want to have, look at other stuff that you know is pretty routine and read it off of a computer screen. Just let us know if you need material. We'll do it for you.
Does the district not have to adhere to the for the agendas?
We get the agendas out in time and try not to get those away. The agenda adjusted is important enough that we have to do it because of timeline. We just have to announce it. But we try to put out the agenda a week ahead with everything we know. And we generally know 90% of it, not 100, but we generally know what all's going to be in there.
So where does that all go to? Like when you say you get it out, where does that go?
We have our Facebook page. We have to put them into the schools. We send them out electronically. Don't print a lot of paper ones. We don't post them in the post office, sort of thing. Most of it's electronic delivery. But since hard copies go to the buildings, is there a need for a different level of?
No, I just don't ever remember seeing an agenda a week prior, and I know that's like, our stuff, they be out a week prior, agendas.
She usually sends them out by email.
The agendas?
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing those.
even though I got 119 emails I haven't read on mine. I can't remember my dang password.
Oh, it's saying password for you.
I had to go see Jennifer Sams at the credit union because I forgot my PIN number for getting money out of my account.
So John, as far as the agenda goes, it's required to be out 48 hours before the meeting. It gets posted on Facebook, it gets posted on the website, I email it to the board at the same time that I email it to all staff. So if you want a hard copy of the agenda, along with the packet materials that I send out, let me know. This week, I went to the OSBA conference last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Sparky passed away, so I did not have time to get the packet or the agenda completed before I left for the OSBA conference. So it was out on Facebook 48 hours before the meeting as is required. But I did email you all the agenda when I had it done because it goes to the staff at the same time that it goes to you guys.
Thank you.
Then anything's revised, you send that out.
Yes, if there's a revised agenda, usually I'll send that as soon as it's revised. If it's revised on today, then when you guys get your packet, it'll have revised in yellow, and anything that was added in the packet will be highlighted in yellow so that you know what it is that was changed.
What else?
I only had a question. So disappointing. Did you want to make these longer till 11 o'clock? I'll try harder.
No. I just figured you being the newbie, you'd have, an extra question or two, but
That's,
you being the highly motivated, educated individual, newbie that you are.
You know how many meetings she has to attend, public meetings? She knows all about that stuff.
I tell you what, I think I'm getting to the point in my life where public meetings are much fun.
If you want to speak your mind now.
I know.
It comes with age, Carrie.
that's what I like about little kids.
I got calluses on my tongue and my lip from biting so much anymore. It's getting kind of a pain when your grandson from Molalla, Oregon sends you a text and saying, "Grandpa, why did you smile in your meeting? I watched you." It's like, why didn't you get an A in band, kid? Grandpa spent a lot of money on your guitars and amps. You got a B for crying out loud. You're cut off. Anything else? Now's the time to ask. Or suggest.
Sherman, the only thing that I like to have, as far as hard copies goes, are the financials. Trying to look at those on phone or something like that. That's my biggest thing.
So I generally get those the week before, so as soon as I receive them, I do email them to you, but I can automatically print a hard copy of the financials, and you can just, the day after you get the email, you can come in and pick it up.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But Josh and Rachel are very good about trying to get that at least a week out, so you guys have opportunity to look at it.
It's previous months, scramble the way we used to, that's the bank date and
Right. then I can use your paper instead of mine.
That is the one function we have for you.
Thank you. Yes.
Jerry, you wanna call us into recess?
Anybody have anything else? Satisfied with
I'm
your session?
satisfied, we did.
They